Hello all, welcome back. Now in part 6 video, we will discuss on the demo Jenkins Docker image and deploy it in the custom Kubernetes cluster. But here we will use the Jenkins Docker image, right? And also we will use the Jenkins file for the deployment. Agenda for this demo is installation of Docker image. This is a Jenkins. Then pipeline configuration, then plugin Jenkins plugin installation. Then after that we have done in the last step also Kubernetes config file, and after that we need to configure some credential configuration over there. After that we will do the GitHub repository URL, and we will create a pipeline job in Jenkins. And at the last we will do the Webhook configuration, right? So we'll follow this step for the CICD pipeline. So here we will install the Docker, and in this Docker image, we will, after Docker image, we will create a Jenkins folder, and in Jenkins folder we will pull the Jenkins image directly. Instead of command line installation, we will use the Jenkins image over here, and we will check the Docker image whether it is showing or not. After that, we will start the run the container. This is the container -dt detached most, and name is my Jenkins. This is the port mapping is there 8080 and 50,000, and this is a volume. A volume mount is root Jenkins to the Jenkins home path in this container. So this is the base machine, and we will map to the Jenkins containers Jenkins home path, right? So I will show you this things when we will create the containers. And if you want to go inside this container, we can use Docker execute -itu root and my Jenkins base, right? Directly we will go in that container, and after that we need to test the Jenkins, right? So let's go and start the demo. So first we will create one server in Google Cloud, right? So just this is our cluster which we created earlier video. This is one manager and two nodes, and I'm creating one more instance here. I'm giving the name Jenkins, and using the N2 server. For that, this is 2 CPU and 8 GB RAM, and OS is Ubuntu 18 because I did all my demos in Ubuntu 18. And select the allow the traffic firewall and create the server. Now it will create. It is creating the server in a few seconds. It is created, and we got the external IP and internal IP both. Now I am connecting to this server. Now I am coming to the PPT. This installation of Java. So it is connected. I'm taking sudo access and updating the packages, apt update. Now we'll install the Java. After installing the Java, we can install OpenJDK in this command, and we can use this headless command also. And it's working in the Ubuntu 18 and 20. So now I'm installing the Docker. It is still installing. Let's wait for a few minutes. Yeah, it's done. We can check the Java version. It is showing on 28, right? Now we are installing the Docker, right? Okay. Now I'm just creating Docker version. It is installed, right? It is. Now we are in the root path, and I am creating one folder like Jenkins, right? Jenkins. Okay, now I am giving the full right. You can see here Jenkins is created. Now I am pulling the image, right? You can see here we don't have any image here, right? Now I am pulling the Jenkins image directly from the Docker Hub. It is official image which we are pulling it, and it is installing it, right? Now we have done. We can check. We got the Jenkins image directly, latest directly, right? From the Docker Hub, we got that image, right? Now, if we want to run the container, we can run it, and we can map this root Jenkins. You can see here currently, okay, clearing it. Currently, we are in the root folder. Now go to the Jenkins, right? You can see here we are the root Jenkins, right? And here we don't have anything, right? We will map this mount to the Jenkins home. It is currently in the container, right? See, you can see container is started. We can see like the Docker PS. We can see that this is running, port is running, image name this, right? Running on 8080 ports, right? Name is my Jenkins, whatever you can, right? Now, if you want to go inside the image, go inside the container, then we can see that now we are in the container. You can see here ID, and in container you can see here ls, right? We have that thing, and in container this is work folder, right? You can see here this is a Jenkins home directory. Well, slash sleep, maybe no, yeah, where lib ls. Let's check. This is Jenkins home and Jenkins. I think Jenkins home should be there. One step back, ls. You can see this Jenkins home is there, right? CD Jenkins home, right? You can see here is the all those files, secrets folder where we have that. I will show you secrets where we have that initial password, right? So we can see it here. See, this is the key, right? Let me clean it, then we can understand. Okay, now you can see here. Now I am exit from that container. Currently I am this container. Now I am in the root, right? You can see here again. This is the secret folders, right? And here you can get initial. Same mapping is there, right? You can see same key we can find here. So we have done volume mount here with the container with the local system, right? If container will be lost, then we can create a different container, and we can also keep the data in the local system volume from via mapping this volume mount, right? So let's we have done this thing, and let's check test the Jenkins, right? And go to that here. I think this is the last one. Okay, so we are here. This is our public IP. I'm just copying it and just running it, right? 8080. We got the sign-in page, and for unlock the Jenkins, we need this code, right? See. Right now we will select that install suggested plugin. Here we will use directly the Docker image for the Jenkins. And in our last video, we have done same installation using the command line, right? So it will take few seconds to complete it. It is installing by default plugins in the Jenkins. Yeah, it's done. Now we need to create a user and password for that, right? So username admin and password I'm putting same. Full name I'm putting my name over there. Email ID. Now save and continue. Now this same URL. Now Jenkins setup is completed here. Now let's see, we have done up to this place. Now this pipeline creation, we will use as a Jenkins using a code from the GitHub, and we will use the Jenkins file for that. I will explain Jenkins files to you. And after that, we will use that plugin, deploy Kubernetes YML using the Kubernetes deploy, a continuous deploy plugin. We will use this plugin over here. So let's go and install the first plugin. I'm going and installing this Kubernetes plugin. So manage plugin, installing the plugin, and manage plugin. I am Kubernetes, right? And Kubernetes continuous deploy, right? Two plugins I've selected, and I'm doing install without restart. Now it is installing it, and after that, Kubernetes config file. In last video, we have followed the same thing. I'm just showing you where we will get it from the config file again here. So go to the Kubernetes master cluster. I'm going over there. This is the root, right? Right. We are in the cube folder, root cube, and here we have config file, right? So if you want to see here, config, right? This is the config file. You can download in any way from this place or copy it from this place and put in the local folder, what I did earlier, right? Same thing. So this is a step, but what a step I have followed. I have create a new repository config and mapped this repository and push this config to the repository in the config repository in the GitHub. This is the URL for that. So if you want, I will show you this also. This one is my GitHub, and here you can see config one, right? This is a config file I have edited, and I have downloaded from the here, and it is right now currently in my local system. I'm showing you that also. Okay, this is download folder, and you can see here this is the config file, config folder here, where we have this config file, right? So we have done this step. That moving to the next step, creating the credential. Now here in this process, I am using the cloud. I will show you in the Jenkins what we need to do. Yeah, it is completed. So I am going over there. This is a cloud configuration, configure cloud over there. So I am using this command and I am just add a new cloud over here. It is Kubernetes is showing over here because you have just installed Kubernetes plugins, right? So just click on it, right? And Kubernetes cloud details, right? So everyone is okay here. We need to create connection with Kubernetes. So I am adding, we don't have any credentials here. So I am adding, I think in document also you can see here, select Kubernetes. I'm putting over there and create a Kubernetes using the config file, right? Same thing. So what I am doing, I'm creating the new key, and you can see here kind is showing a secret file. So I'm selecting kind is here secret file because we will use the file, right? So you can see I got the option for the config file, and this is the config file which you have downloaded earlier from the Kubernetes. So I'm just selecting over here, right? And this ID, I'm using this ID over here. So I'm putting it here, and I'm description, I'm just removing the underscore only, right? And I'm adding it. You can see now it will show over here. I'm selected here. Now I will just test the connection with the Kubernetes. Now my Jenkins server is connected to the Kubernetes cluster, which is showing here. Now we need to configure this Jenkins URL. The same Jenkins URL is there, so we need to just copy and paste over here. And tunnel name, we need to put 50,000 port. This is a Jenkins server and tunnel, this one. So I have mentioned this thing here. This is Jenkins server ID 8080 port. You need to mention internal. You need to mention Jenkins server ID 50,000 port, right? Now we will define the port here. So what we need to do in the downtime, pod pod template. You can see here pod templates are there. So I'm just clicking on pod, add pod template, right? So here asking for the name. So I have already here name is cube and label is cube pod. So just pod template details, click on here, you will get the details and label. You can. This label is very important. I will show you. This label will map with our Jenkins files, which we will use in the kubectl, right? You can see here. Next, we need to configure add container template here, and we need to give the name. This is the container. I'm adding the container over here and putting this name, right? And Docker image, I'm giving this Docker image which we created earlier. I will show you this on our repository. I'm showing you here. You can see this Docker Hub. We have this image Jenkins Docker K8 project we created in the last project we have created, and this is the latest. So I'm taking this one here over here, right? And I've mentioned over here. This is a custom image. You can put your image, or this is the MMT is my login name, right? This is my GitHub, Docker Hub login name, right? Now this is a working directory, is a home Jenkins, right? So working directory is showing over here. Agent, so I'm just removing the agent over here, right? Now we are good to configure it. So I'm just applying and save it, right? Now we have done this thing, and one more thing is there. We need to create a credential for the Kubernetes using the config file. So here we will use the ID mykubeconfig, and here we will configure manage credentials and click on Jenkins global credentials. You can see here we have just created earlier one that is showing over here, secret files things, and here we need to create one more things, right? One more credential for Kubernetes. So you can see here Kubernetes configuration kubeconfig is there. We have configured same thing in the last video also. So here I'm giving this my kubeconfig, and I will select in config. I've selected into directory, copy and paste the things. So here you can see that we have that config file over here, and I'm just copying the content over here, right? Other option is here, we can copy the file in Jenkins master and give the path. In other third method, we can directly connect to the Kubernetes master node and do it, give the path of that config file, right? So we have created this thing. So we have done from the credential side. It's created over here. Now you can see this. We have done this thing. Now you can see we will use this project is project number 2, Jenkins Docker Kubernetes project 2. So I'm opening this project over there so you can understand that thing. This is, yeah, let me open it. It is my repository, and okay, now you can see here, this is my repository, right? Okay, now main branch, right? You can see branch is showing main right here. After that, we need to create one project here. and we need to select pipeline script with SCM using Jenkins file site. I will show you. I'm creating a job over here. You can see here pipeline. I'm selecting pipeline and creating this thing. Right? You can see here. Now go to the pipeline. In last video, I've selected this pipeline script. Now here I've selected, so I will select pipeline script from SCM, right? So you can see it is asking for the script for Jenkins file. I will explain this file after this. And here you can see SCM is asking for the none, but I have to take code from the Git. So I'm selecting here Git, right? And it is asking for the URL. No, sorry. I think we have URL over here, right? Same URL we need to put. I'm copying this URL and putting over here, right? Okay. I think here it is a public URL, so no need to put the credential over here. But if it is a private repository, then you need to add the credential over here, right? Now our branch is not master, it is a main, so I'm changing it, right? And you can see here it is asking it will take the Jenkins files from the repository. So we have done from pipeline site. I'm saving it, right? Now before running it manually, build now I will explain. I want to explain that Docker file and Jenkins files, right? So here we are not creating directly. Let me open this thing, Jenkins file. Actually, in Jenkins, this file, what we are doing here, we are using the pipeline code and we are using the agent. This level is kubeprod. You know, when we have configured that cloud, that time we have given this level, right? I'm showing you again. Manage Jenkins. We have configured, I think, over here. Configure cloud, right? You can see here, right? See. We have given pod template, right? Pod template details, right? See here in the pod definition, pod template definition, we have defined the level kubepod, and here we are calling the same agent from the kubepod. It should be same, right? We are calling from here, and after that is stage. It is for checkout sources from the GitHub. So I'm giving the URL for the GitHub and branch main, right? Our URL. And after this URL, we are directly deploying to the Kubernetes. So I'm using nginx.yml file, and using this configuration ID, we are using the mykubeconfig, where we are defining the our config file, right? This is our credentials we created earlier, right? So let's see what is there in the nginx.yml, right? And what thing we will get it, right? So go back to the nginx.yml file. Here you can see that one deployment is there, right? One deployment is there, and deployment contains the 3 replicas, right? It is created 3 replicas, and image name is nginx. it will create the Nginx image for the 3DP class, right? So let's start and deploy it manually, right? So here you can see I've added same code over here, and just build it. I'm opening it. I'm creating it build now, right? Let's see what is happening here. Go to the console output. It is taking file from the GitHub URL. Let's wait for some time. And meanwhile, just we can check what are the thing running our Kubernetes server, right? So this is manager server. Let me check all. What is it is showing some deployment over there. Okay. So let's wait. We will get some other deployment over here, right? So this one is showing earlier, right? So let me check. I think this is created something like that 29 seconds ago, right? Something is created here. You can see here. It is taking the file, this thing for images which are given in the power definition, right? And after that, you can see here completion of this starting Kubernetes deployment, and it deployed finished Kubernetes deployment. It deployed that YML file in the Kubernetes. Let's check. Again, I am doing get all. So it is showing multiple things. Okay, I'm clearing it. Then we will check again. See. Okay, it is. You can see here it is created my Nginx deployment 3 of 3 because we have taken 3 deployment set, up to date 3, available 3. You can see replica set. You can see here 3, desire 3, current 3, and ready 3, right? And so it will create 3 pods, right? So here you can see here. This is Nginx, right? Right. You can see here 3 pods are deployed. This is 55 seconds ago. You can see here, right? So let me clarity. I am deleting this service, right? This services and this replication controller and this pods, which will give the clear picture for this deployment. So I'm just cleaning the older things here. So let me clear it. I think we have in the past log. See, we are deleting the service Spring Boot, right? Here. Okay. Now we need to delete Mongo, right? We deleted, and now we will delete this replication controller, this and this both. One we will delete it. This one, right? Mongo controller, and after that, we will delete the string controller, right? Now we will check how many items we have. It's still left. Let's check it, right? You can see it. We don't have any cluster now. We have only deployment set for Nginx. There's a 3 pods are running, right? And replica set for 3, right? It is deployed successfully over here. And you can see here, sorry, You can see here 3 ports for the Nginx and a Spring controller. This is a 0, 1, this is terminating. You can see statuses, right? This is earlier created. Okay. So you can see all these are created in the same time, 2 minutes 55 seconds, 2 minutes 55 seconds. This is our deployment, right? So let me check again. Yeah, now it is, let me clear it, then again I will show you. Now it is showing clearly 3 pods and this replica set and this deployment, right? If you want to check on which node it is deployed, the pod, we can check it. kubectl get pods. Right. So you can see 2 pods are running on node 2 and 1 pod is running on node 1, right? With this is the IP of the pods, right? Now here you can see we don't have any services associated with it, so we need to run one service with node port service. You can see here I'm just exposing this deployment is with the node port, right? This is export deployment my Nginx. You can see my deployment name for Nginx, my Nginx, right? So let me clear it, and again get all right. You can see one service is created with node port, and we got the ID for this, right? Now we can check it with this port, right? And we will get in the Nginx application, right? So let me check here, right? Give me port number. Let me give the port. I think it is running on HTTPS. Okay, you can see welcome to Nginx, right? And same way you can check it again with this one. You can copy it other nodes also. And 31071. Okay, Nginx is working here. And from this place, you can see this is our third URL. Three 11071, right? Okay, not deployed. Now you can configure the webhook configuration over here. So we will do the same thing what we did earlier. Now what we need to do here in the Jenkins side, I will go to the Jenkins project right here and configure. I will just enable that GitHub hook trigger that thing, right? Same thing, I've saved it. Now I need to configure the webhook in the same here, right? In the project 2 settings, webhook. We can add if you are doing, or you can edit it, right? Existing one. Now I need to change the URL for that, right? This is the URL, right? So I'm just changing it URL over here. This is the updated URL in GitHub, and just update. Now we have done this thing, and again now we need to clone it on the local system. This is my local system, right? I am just cloning it. Git, right? This is cloning the project here. After that, we need to go to this Jenkins Docker project 2, right? It is there. And from the backend side, we need to go over there. We need to go. Okay, we are in download folder. This is the folder. We need to change in Nginx. We will change here. So what we are doing, I am creating replica 2 instead of 3. I am doing it 2, or I can do it 1, right? I'm just saving it, right? Now just need to check what is the status here. One file has changed, so I am committing it. Now I'm pushing it. Before pushing, I just want to show you. We have only one build currently. Let's check whether it is starting the second build or not after pushing it, right? So it is pushed successfully to the GitHub. Now check here in the Jenkins, you can see the second item is started, right? You can see. And after starting it, let's check what is happening here. If you want, we can go to the console log and you can check it, what is happening over here, right? See here. It is deploying it. Let's see what is happening. It is showing success. It is showing here ready replica 3, replicas 3. Let's check in the Kubernetes side. I'm clicking here. You can see it is completed successfully, right? So let's go to the Kubernetes master node. This is the master node. And currently we have a 333. Let's check what is happening here. See, it is terminating 2 because we are changing the replica set over here. So it is changing 3 to 1 because currently in replica set desire is 1 and current is 1, ready is 1. So it will reduce the pods, and pod will not run, it will run only 1, and it is deleting the 2 pods, right? And this is the same thing URL you can access because we have not changed anything in the Nginx image. We have changed directly in the pod. So it is showing, you can see here, it is showing over there. And at last, it will show only 1 pod, right? See, only I let me clear it and it will show you. You can see it is showing only 1 because desire is 1 and current is 1 and ready is 1, right? Replica set, correct? So it is changed using the CI/CD pipeline in the Kubernetes deployment, right? So in the document side, we can test it again and we will get it. I hope it is clear to you. For any query, write to me. I will surely respond on that. Now, in the next part 7, in the next video, we will discuss on the Google Kubernetes engine and deploy the Docker image from Jenkins to GKE, Google Kubernetes engine, right? So here we will use the Jenkins files and we will discuss in the next video. So I hope it is clear to you. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.